All right, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, going to be looking at the Game of the Year award nominees and looking at all the categories, and we're going to be placing our votes. Now, let me just give you a really important reminder. This is entirely opinion-based. Your opinion most likely will be different than mine because, or I shouldn't say most likely, but should be because there's so many freaking games. It'll be different than mine is the point I'm trying to make, and that's okay that we share different opinions. The whole point of this is to be looking at the categories, seeing what games do deserve the credit, what games don't deserve the credit. And I'm going to be very, very open and honest into my decision making, into why I place certain votes under what games. But ultimately, it's just to be looking at games and celebrating video games. And I think that's the whole point of all this. So anyway, let's get started with the first one, the big one, Game of the Year. So a Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So, first option here is Alan Wake 2, then we got Baldur's Gate 3, then Marvel Spider-Man 2, then Resident Evil 4, then Super Mario Bros. Wonder, then The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I gotta say, this is probably like the most stacked I've seen Game of the Years, or Game of the Year options in a very, very, very long time. I think you can make an argument for me personally, I think it's between Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, or Resident Evil 4. When it comes to Super Mario Bros., Zelda, and Alan Wake 2, I have seen gameplay of all three, but those games have never been like games that are for me in particular. Now, even Baldur's Gate 3, I never thought I'd ever play that game, but my cousins got me into it. And I don't play it by myself, but I'm able to recognize how much the game has to offer and how much outcomes in the storyline that you can create. It's insane. Like, I'm able to recognize a good game when I see one, even if I'm not playing it by myself. But one thing I will say is Resident Evil 4 and Spider-Man 2 have a special place in my heart. For one, because I love Spider-Man. I just love Spider-Man's my favorite hero of all time. And two, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So in all honesty, I'm probably gonna go with Resident Evil 4 Remake. This just feels like the best option for me, although I do acknowledge that Baldur's Gate 3 is a legitimate contender. Next up, we got Best Game Direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in the game direction and design. Now, one thing I gotta say here, I would say Baldur's Gate 3 probably has the best game direction. Like, their creative vision and innovation is a whole new world of insane. I think Mario Bros. Wonder should be given some credit as well. Honestly, all these games for sure. But Baldur's Gate 3, for me, in terms of just creativity, takes the cake. Like, there's so much you can do. It is honestly insane. Every run you make, you could play the campaign 10 different times. The outcome will be different 10 different times. It is gnarly. Okay, so here we got Best Narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm gonna be very blunt when I say I don't keep up with Final Fantasy. I don't really keep up with Alan Wake. Cyberpunk, I knew of the first one and I knew a little bit about the storyline, but I have not kept up at all with the DLC. For me though, this one's easy. Spider-Man 2. I do have a bias, but definitely Spider-Man 2 in terms of best narrative. I love the storyline for all three Spider-Man games. Okay, so this is Best Art Direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. I will say, all these games, you know, pretty respectable, but if I remember correctly, so I watched Maximilian dude play Lies of P, and just looking at the game, I thought, man, dude, like this does look really great. So you can look at it right here. I think this game looks absolutely amazing. I'm a huge fan of the scenery. The attacks look awesome. Like, to me, when I first saw the game, I thought, man, is this a game I would actually buy? And honestly, yeah, the moment it goes on sale, I haven't kept up with it, to be honest with you, but I know the Black Friday sale for PlayStation's coming up soon. So if this game goes on sale, this is definitely a game I'm going to be considering because it looks freaking amazing. I mean, just more detail added here. And am I on, what am I on? Resolution 1080. So imagine if you played this game in 4K or at least 1440, it would look even better. And that's saying something because I feel like it already looks great. Love the mansion scenery. It reminds me of Resident Evil. And I just can't, I can't stress enough. I really am a fan of the art design with this game. And of the nominees, like I said, this one's definitely going to take the cake. Okay, we got best score in music. Personally, I think I'm gonna have to sit back on this one because I'm not really the biggest fan of Baldur's Gate 3 music, and the other 4 games I don't know enough to determine. Like, I have seen gameplay of Zelda. I haven't at all seen of any Final Fantasy or Hi-Fi Rush, and Alan Wake 2 I've seen very minimum of. So it's like I need to void myself of making a vote here because I wouldn't know with this category, to be honest. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so this one's best audio design. I will say Spider-Man, Resident Evil 4. I love the audio. I don't know much more to say about it because, again, these 3 games are like super void. But if I had to pick between Spider-Man's audio and Resident Evil 4's audio, I would pick Spider-Man 4. There's just so much more sound effects. Okay, so next up we got best performance. We have Ben Starr in Final Fantasy 16. We got Cameron Monaghan in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Idris Elba in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, which is the DLC. Melanie Libbard, Alan Wake 2. I hope I pronounced that right. Neil Newbin. I don't know what role he played in Baldur's Gate 3, but I need to find out because... Oh, Asterion. Okay, is that who he played? Asterion? Okay, so for me, it's going to be Asterion or Yui Lowenthal. Spider-Man. I'm sorry to all those that, you know, have enjoyed these games, and just because I don't know about it, I can't vote on it. But I'm going to go ahead and say Yuri Lowenthal. He's just a great Spider-Man. Great voice acting. I really can't say enough, dude. He definitely keeps you engaged. Next up, we got innovation and accessibility. Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, surprisingly. I feel like, I don't know, I play Mortal Kombat 1 a lot, and I don't really know it for its accessibility, but I mean, maybe there's some features it offers that I'm not really sure about. Street Fighter 6, in all honesty, I'm gonna have to avoid myself of this vote as well because accessibility is not something I really mess with too much. Okay, so this category is games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message, I have never seen or played either of these games, so I'm not gonna, you know, make a vote on that. So we'll just go to the next category. We got best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. I think, to me, this isn't even close. I don't know any game like Fortnite that continues to roll out shit nonstop, especially since Fortnite just went back to the OG stuff. I think this one's easily Fortnite, but then again, Final Fantasy 16, it's not something I've, you know, actively played or seen. Cyberpunk 2077 did add the DLC, but dude, the amount of content Fortnite always drops all the time is just unreal. I just realized my face was in the way, so I moved it back. So I apologize for that section of the video where you're not being able to see the category, but at the very least, I did read it aloud. Anyway, on to the next one. We got best community support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, including of social media activity and game updates / patches. If I remember correctly, No Man's Sky launched very poorly along with Cyberpunk, and both games really cleaned themselves up. Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know, because I wasn't around for the beta. I only started playing it when the game officially dropped. And Final Fantasy 16, I'm not sure of. Again, not familiar or not around that kind of scene. And then Destiny 2, I think there's just been like a huge like controversy or something with the studio with Bungie, if I remember correctly. I would say best community support, though, is probably got to go to No Man's Sky or Cyberpunk, right? Because they really fixed up their game from when it first launched, and you have to give them credit for at least like wanting to make the game better. Now, granted, the game shouldn't launch that shitty, right? I'm gonna go ahead and vote Cyberpunk on this. I don't think, at least from my memory, No Man's Sky's release was as bad as Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk was so hyped, but they have released a lot of patches since to try and fix the game, which I give credit for, you know? Okay, so these are the best mobile games. And here's the thing, I play a lot of mobile games. None of them are on here. So I'm gonna pull up my phone right now, and I'm gonna tell you guys all the mobile games I have. So I have Clash Royale, Mighty Doom, MLB 9 Innings Rivals, or MLB, 9 Inning Rivals, Pickle Pete, Memory Match, Pokemon United, Super Toss the Turtle, and I believe that's it, right? Oh, and also Pokemon Go. I also have Pokemon Go, but none of those games that I play are on here, and I'm left with these options. So I'm gonna go to the next category. I've never played any of those games. I can't vote on that. Okay, so we're on best action game, and this is like the 4th time I've seen Hi-Fi Rush. So I gotta look at this game, dude. Like people clearly must really like it, and it must be really cool or something along the lines. 10 out of 10 on Steam. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this launch trailer real quick. Okay, so the trailer itself didn't look that spectacular, but that's just the trailer. That's not the actual game. Again, I'm gonna have to really just step back and not vote on this one, unfortunately. Just games that I don't play. I love Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil games, Spider-Man, sports games, Baldur's Gate. Like, there's a lot of games I like. These are just like the difficult ones to deal with, but best action / adventure, Resident Evil 4. I'm not even gonna acknowledge the other ones. That Resident Evil 4 is my game of the year. Okay, we got best RPG for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. This one's Baldur's Gate 3, and I've seen Starfield. You know, I was definitely looking at that game for a while and trying to see if it was worth playing. Not that I have an Xbox, but it's an experience that I don't want to miss out on because the hype was really real, so I watched a lot of playthroughs. Nevertheless, though, we're gonna rock with Baldur's Gate 3. I still want to have a chance to play Lies of P, and these two, Sea of Stars and Final Fantasy, not familiar with. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding Mortal Kombat 1 and the monetization, and people just being overall unhappy with them having to spend money for whether it's skins or fatalities. Like, there's a lot of frustration going on in the game, but in terms of gameplay, this is the best Mortal Kombat that's dropped ever, in my opinion. So I don't want to ignore what they have going in terms of like a concept and the whole cameo system, and it's just honestly a great game. Now, it could use a balance patch to fix some things for sure, and there could definitely be more updates that improve quality of life. But overall gameplay, Mortal Kombat 1 for me takes the cake. I saw Street Fighter 6, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. That game needs more of a budget. I'm not familiar with God of Rock or Pocket Bravery, but Mortal Kombat 1 for me, best fighting game. Best family game? This is funny. So we got Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's definitely got to be Super Mario Bros. Wonder because I, for the first time ever, saw my mom playing with my brothers Mario, and I had never seen her play video games like that before, and she loves Mario. And they haven't played Super Mario Wonder yet, but you know, it's only better, it's only newer, and that's like the only family game I've ever seen my own mom play. So I find that pretty cool that there's games like that she can still play, and my brothers seemingly enjoyed it. I think Mario Bros. Wonder beats Sonic Superstars. I also have seen Sonic Superstars gameplay. Pikmin 4, Party Animals, and Disney Illusion. Not entirely familiar with, if I'm being transparent. Okay, so next up we got sports / racing for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. No Madden, no 2K. I wouldn't have voted for Madden anyway, to be honest with you. But of all these, I've only been interested in EA Sports FC. You know, it used to be FIFA, now it's FC. I've only ever been interested in that. I've never played any racing games, but because I don't really play EA Sports FC 24, I feel like it'd be wrong for me to vote for it, considering I haven't even tried the other 4 games, nor have I seen gameplay of it. So I will void myself of this vote. We got best multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. So one thing I will say is Diablo 4, get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to see that shit. I did not like the game. Now, if you enjoy the game, honestly, no hate towards you at all. It's just that game is not for me. I found it super repetitive, super boring. Again, strictly just my input on the matter. I haven't played it since like that first patch where they nerfed like everything. At that point, I was just fed up. I was like, dude, nah, I'm not doing this shit. That's not it. But I will be voting for Baldur's Gate 3. Again, I'm able to recognize how good of a game that is, even if I don't really play it by myself. Okay, so we got best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapt a video game to another entertainment medium. Now listen, Castlevania Nocturne, never seen. Gran Turismo, I still want to see. I have seen only like, I want to say 30 minutes of an episode of The Last of Us, but I wasn't like the biggest fan of the series anyway, so I didn't like care too much. Twisted Metal, I saw some of episode 1. Didn't really keep my attention for too long, but Super Mario Bros. Movie, I loved that movie. Absolutely love. I still have to watch the Gran Turismo because it actually looks interesting to me, so I will watch that eventually. But the Super Mario Bros. Movie, so good. That's going to take the cake for me. So next up, we got most anticipated game, recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. So for me, I think this one's really easy. I would vote Hades 2 because I loved Hades 1 a lot. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer looks pretty good. I know the community for it is going pretty insane. Star Wars Outlaws, I've kind of given up on the Star Wars world, man. It just seems like, I don't know, with the whole movie 7, 8, 9, like it made me like give up on Star Wars as a whole. I really hated those movies. Tekken 8, I'm actually looking forward to see what they have to offer. I would say for me it's Hades 2 then Tekken 8, but I'm gonna go with Hades 2. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, not even really familiar with. So in the end, you can see all the categories you voted on. You can see all the categories that I voted on here. And yeah, the ones that I didn't vote on, I didn't really know too much about, or I only knew one exactly. And to me, if I only know one nominee from that category, it just feels really wrong to vote. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. Maybe it is. But for now, that's kind of how I'm going to keep things. I might change my mind later because I'm pretty uncertain about how I feel about that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the nominees, about what should have been a nominee, about what is a nominee and you think should win Game of the Year, or the award in general. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, this is Ollie Been Different. All we've been different. And we out.